Is Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku good enough? Time for another community discussion. How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan Battle video. In today's video, we have another community discussion. Seen a lot of doom posting about the release of the upcoming Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Yet again, we have a unit who has yet to release, and all we've got is their details to go on, and already people have started to say just how underwhelmed they are by this character. So I wanted to put it out to you guys and see, what do you guys really feel? Because I don't think what we see on Twitter is the real thoughts of everybody. I think there's a lot more people who are out there excited about this release, and I want to hear it. So let's take a look at what people have to say. So shout out to everybody who participated and joined in here. Let's start with the posts on Twitter that we've seen. So we have Platinum here, just a couple. I swear I had more than this. A lot of them responded to my other posts here. So Platinum here looks good, like some parts of his design, though it would have been nice if his support included pure Saiyans as well, since part of his leader skill. Curious to see if he will perform in content that goes longer than GDC fights or Supreme Spectacle hybrid Saiyan stages. Pretty sure they gave him full power to synergize well with the upcoming Limit Breakers and Super Saiyan 4s, which means Daima Adult Goku will most likely also have full power. Also, linking Wise works well with Super Saiyan 3 GT Goku and EZA Fizz LR Gogeta. Yep, alright, I mean, pretty much on the point, right? He's designed for the GDC content and the hybrid stage. He's definitely going to struggle a little bit more than in some longer content, but I don't think it would be that bad with, you know, over 3.8 million defense maxed out, and that's not even factoring all the kinds of crazy support he's going to have, plus the extra damage reduction from Super Saiyan 4 Goku. He's actually gonna be pretty all right, even in most of the longer content, especially post Super. So I wouldn't have to worry too much about him there. I think he's gonna be good, and of course, I mean, even if he's not, that's okay, right? I thought we learned this lesson then in GDC, that it's okay to have units that are designed for different fights, right? Some are good for short fights, some are good for long fights, and that's okay. We got Rock here with turn 1 bad versus turn 3 5 insane. Turn +7 doesn't matter right now. Like the unit, but would have loved the support and had more categories. Very strong unit, but not flawless though, right? And that's fine. No unit is flawless. You can always find a way to pick apart just about every unit. Heck, people said Vegito was flawless back in the beginning of the year, and GDC found a way to prove that wrong. So, hey, and like I said, it's okay to have units that have flaws. They're all going to. There's always got to be a downside, right? No unit is perfect. So that's all the responses I got on that post. But I did have another post kind of sort of wondering why a lot of people just can't be happy about this, right? Because we waited all year for this, right? And this one, I got a lot more people here, right? People are understandably worried about Daima Vegeta, considering Daima Vegeta, which I would like to point out, I don't understand that worry. One, Daima Vegeta was never as bad as people tried to make him out to seem. Two, the kits are completely different, right? Like, I don't understand why you would look at his kit and look at Daima Vegeta's kit and be like, huh, this is worse. I don't understand that perspective, because, like, we already know what the kit is. Raudo reminds him of a video he did. Yes, he did do a video talking about this here. Quite a lot, actually. Yeah, it is really strange, the responses we're getting here, and I'm not sure actually what's going on, because I made a lot of posts about this. Let's see, I think I've got quite a few replies here to this one. Hang on a second. This is so weird. Twitter is not showing all the replies. I know there's more replies than this. That is so strange. Hang on. Here we go, buried under one of the other comments. So, right, we have people taking issue with Daima Goku after the power creep the hybrids brought in. Gap doesn't have a reliable slot 1 anymore. Literally anyone can get smoked at any time. But he's good, but doesn't fit the team he likes using. So that particularly isn't an issue of Daima Goku, right? For those who aren't aware, right, the Hybrid Saiyan's Red Zone is specifically designed to force you to run units that do a lot of attack lowering, or at least have a way to live that turn 1 super from Gohan, right? This includes all of the stages, by the way, right? Which is why Omega's team does so well against it, where, you know, Gogeta Super Saiyan 4's team doesn't really do so well against the stages. He can work, right, if you get really lucky that turn 1, but, you know, for the most part, you know, it's just not a fight for that team. And, you know, again, that's okay, right? They are designing fights with different types of teams in mind. So I don't necessarily think that that's... I don't understand why that would be a point against them, since, right, already Gogeta 4 doesn't do well in that fight, and it's not like we're pretending he's bad now. At least I hope we're not. No Satan person is trying to downplay Mini Forku. He's easily among the best in the game. So, I mean, that's good. I'm glad some people are seeing that. But there are people sort of... there are definitely people downplaying it, as you've already seen this far in the video. All right, Issa, good unit, but they're very weird design choices that make me very puzzling on why did you do this kind of way. This, I mean, I don't understand. I believe she did try to explain it in another post, but that she had made personally, but it just... I mean, the weird design choice from what I'm seeing from what she wrote is essentially designed to be, you know, big damage short event type character, and she's wondering why do this, knowing that we might be moving into the 11th Annie here soon, and he might not hold up too well. And she feels that he's sort of designed as a floater. I don't agree with that. I don't think he's designed as a floater. He's pretty sure he's your second slot option on these short fights. I don't know why you would float him. You would actually lose stats by doing that. But you know, that's why I don't really understand why she's talking weird design choices, because I don't really see why that would be what she would do with him. Platinum again. It's weird seeing people either don't like him defensively or calling him boring and bland. Yeah, I've seen a lot of that too. Vector, the 11th anti meta I just made up, won't have Ki Blast supers. Yeah, this is kind of what it feels like though, right? Obviously he's being a bit you know, he's being a bit facetious here, but I mean, that's kind of what it feels like. Like, people are more worried how he's going to be 6 months from now, right, in an entirely new meta than how he is right now in the current meta. And I'm actually going to that is actually a huge important point I'm going to come back and talk to after we read through everybody else. Zetsu, right, the 11th enemy won't have any new mechanic. Okay, this guy is trolling, obviously. But yeah, he's just like, you know, no new mechanic, no Ki Blast supers, a new mechanic called Counter Cancel, which disables your counter, right, being silly, obviously. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of my point. It's just like, you know, people are acting like this dude doesn't have 70% chance to counter the most common supers in the game, right? Which is just crazy to me. All right, so let's hop over here to YouTube. Let's check the responses to the posts. So we do have Soda here. For me, really surprised that this character is releasing this time of year. A bit worried about how he's going to age through the 11th anniversary coming up in a couple months, but really happy with the character overall. And second response, character should have released during Golden Week or May instead of the Gohan, Goten, and Trunks character. Should take in one of those spots. I just hope he gets the Omega treatment with a bunch of characters coming soon. So again, I'm going to address this. I'm going to address this point here in a second, because I also made another post about this. But the second point, again, I just talked about that, right? People are more worried about how he's going to, you know, age through the 11th anniversary instead of how he's going to do right now, right, with what's right in front of us now. The thing is, right, you can kind of follow Dokkan's release patterns yearly since the 7th anniversary. So basically every other year we see a major power creep. So 7th anniversary started the first major power creep. Into 8th anniversary, not much of a power creep. Into 9th anniversary, significant jump. And then, well, I shouldn't say significant. It's more of a shift from 8th to 9th anniversary, right? Um, Whereas there was a slight power creep at 8th anniversary. Then from 9th to 10th, there was a major power creep. So if we're following the same trend, 11th anniversary should be very similar to the 8th anniversary, in which there is only a slight increase, or possibly more like the 9th anniversary, where it is more of a shift. And it's hard to say exactly which way it's going to go, because we had both a power creep and shift halfway through this year at GDC. So it's possible that they don't shift things any further, and 11th anniversary is just a continuation of where we're at, with maybe some slight increase in power. That would honestly be the healthiest thing for the game right now, because I think if they power creep too much and drop off 9th and 10th anniversary units completely, I think that's gonna do a lot of people dirty, and so I don't think they're gonna go that route. Taiga, About Time makes sense to be a TUR with a solid kit design and foreshadowing of Daima Adult Goku, Vegeta, and Goma as 11th Anniversary Part 2. Could definitely see that happening. Yusak, people asked for Daima, here it is, and now they're going to skip all of a sudden. I am summoning at least. He looks insanely good for the first 5 turns. I don't know after that. No big problem though. It's going to be a short content god. And yeah, it's exactly what we're saying, right? It's like, it's okay to be good in one type event. We don't have to be good in all events. And which again, I'm going to come back to this in a second, because this also leads into this point here. He's good, but since he's very likely on the anniversary banners, I'm going to skip. Plus, unless his banner has not only the most recent units, personally, value is pretty terrible. See, and that's fine. And I like that people are, that this person is willing to admit that. This is the Eliki. I hope I'm saying that right. But I mean, that's fair, right? Hey, I'm skipping because I know he's going to show up because of the time frame. I know he's going to show up on the 11th anniversary banners, if it ends up being Daima. If not, he'll be on March's banner, right? So it's really not that big of a deal. So that I can understand, and I almost feel like sometimes people overplay the flaws to justify not summoning. Just because they don't want to admit that it's the smart thing to do is to save right now. And that's the reality of, yes, Diamond Goku's good. He's finally here. But I mean, if you're saving for 11th anniversary, you're probably not going to be dipping into this banner anyways. And I kind of feel like sometimes people just use that, use these made up hypotheticals of aging in an anniversary we don't know about yet, to justify not summoning, instead of just saying, hey, I need to save. It's weird like that. Okay, so real quick, I want to transition over and let's check out our Discord. All right, so we have transitioned over to Discord here. Posted the same thing. So we got Hard Striker here. Only Doom posting is the fact that stones are going to be continuing to dry. That's fair, right? That's Doom posting I can get behind. This is going to be tough if they release him, especially if they release him without pity. But honestly, feel at peace. Happy he's finally coming to the game. Can't wait to get him or get shafted terribly. Yeah, that can happen. Okay, Zio, happy that for a little bit late for him to release, but glad he's here. Goku Balboa, crazy hype, but holy cow, are we supposed to treat him like a monthly DFER for October? I got questions for him. What's the banner like? What can we expect as a whole? Non-pity, celebration, having easy A's or super easy A's. So, I'll probably talk about this in a separate video, but, if he's a monthly if they are considering this a monthly TUR, right, he will have pity. If they are considering this the thank you celebration, then he will not have pity, because this will also have LRs on the banner, so they won't do pity with it if there are. So I do imagine that it will likely be pity, in part because they didn't specifically mention this as the thank you celebration during the live stream, but you never know. And I want to keep that there is a possibility that could happen. The banner should return Kid Goku and very likely Tao as well. So at least there's that going on. But at a minimum, Kid Goku should be on the banner. Alright, don't like the kit, but happy that we at least have him in game. I kind of wish Magic Oni had... I kind of wish he had expanded upon why he didn't like the kit. But at least At least he admits it's just that he doesn't like the kit, instead of making up some crazy stories about it. Okay, moving on. Zapture, glad we finally got him. It's time for the adult Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Ultra Vegeta for anniversary. Right? Yes, very likely that's the case. We're going to get Mini Forku out of the way here. Or, I mean, these two could very well end up being New Year's, right? I hope not. I hope they get the anniversary treatment, but we'll see. All right, Old School Gamer Angel, right? I have some things to say, but if you don't pull Piccolo, he's going to be very risky in long battles. But as long as there's no AoE, slot 2, he should be more than fine, right? And this is what I've been saying, right? Slot 2, he'd be more than fine as long as there are no AoEs, which, I mean, Omega is pretty much the only one that he's gonna that would be a problem with for him. Okay, also not a big fan of the kit, but as long as there is no AoE, he's slot 2, he should be fine. Okay. Moving on. For SCZAs, all right. So this is talking about potential EZAs. I'll try to look for some new responses here. Kenny McGee here. Kind of surprised to see the first Goku unit that leads demonic power, although the category itself still needs help. It makes sense in that regard, though it's still a strange feeling. Yeah, which is why I like the fact that he also leads pure Saiyans, right? That's really good. That's really helpful. Because of course, yes, demonic power does still need work, but giving him also access to pure Saiyans gives him some really good options to run with him. Okay, and to go YouTube, looks like good as a whole. Hope we get Garlic Jr. Oh, that's random, but okay. I want Tren. This is Anakin here. You guys have probably seen him around in stream. Seems like a pretty standard slot 2 damage unit with some nice support added on. Little peeve that he attack doesn't come in earlier, seeing as how big the damage would go for special battles and long fights would go longer than turn 4. It's also stupid that he's not on Power Wishes, given that Gohan from the Buu Saga is also on Power Wishes. It's also probable Tech Pan, Easy A, but I haven't seen anybody talking about. Yeah, so Tech Pan not on the lead, so I did comment that. Very likely she's not going to be on it. He does not lead Dragon Ball Seekers. And I think that's it. Yeah, so that's all of the new responses other than people responding to each other. So, I wanted to end with one last thing here, and that's looking at a post, right? Because a few people mentioned this already, right? That they, if they had just moved his release, right? If he had released during Saiyan Day, or if he was the release instead of Daima Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, or if he released during Golden Week, that people would be happy with his kit. To which I justify, no, they wouldn't. Seeing as how the main thing that people are saying now is, oh my god, I don't know how he's going to last in the hypothetical 11th anniversary that hasn't come yet, that might be long events. I can't appreciate him now. Well, if that's how people are looking at him now, if you flash back to Golden Week or to Saiyan Day, everyone and their mother was saying that we were going to get nothing but long event type characters for the rest of the year at that point, right? That they were gonna build around Festival of Battles. And so knowing that and seeing how the releases that were treated that were made for the short content at the time, like Gohan, like Daima Vegeta, like Cell, like Kaioken Goku. Well, Kaioken Goku had other issues, but like those characters made for Battle-Hardened Formidable Foes, which was the short event at the time, were not treated with the same characters who treated the same as those who could handle the Jiren fights and the Goku fight and the festival fights very well, right? units that were designed for battle hardened formidables were highly criticized for not being able to live the supers at the end of the long fights, which is exactly what would happen to Goku, right? If this Goku released then, he'd have the relevant stats pre-GDC power creep, right? And so he'd probably be more similar to Super Saiyan 2 Gohan as a big damage dealer that deals multiple attacks in these short fights, right? He would be a battle-hardened formidable foes killer. People would not have accepted him back then, right? Especially because you wouldn't, there wouldn't be any. The only fight he could use his counter in at the time would have been Cellmax's AoE super, which would have been helpful, right? Which would have been helpful, but I don't think he, seeing as how people treated Gohan and those characters, I don't think releasing him earlier would have helped this situation that I'm seeing with all the doom posting about him. In fact, I think it would actually be much worse if he released in the long event meta from the earlier in the year instead of right now where the events are favorable to him. He counters pretty much every major fight right now, and the Goten and Trunks fight are non-existent to him. Like, he's gonna dominate them. Like, he'll be able to take down Goten, Trunks all by himself, and then be able to manage Gohan through the rest of his team, right? Like, it's going to be a non-issue for him. So he's in a meta that's favorable to him right now, and people are already complaining about how he might do in long events. So I don't see a situation in which he releases in a long event meta earlier in the year and people view him better than they do now. That's just the way I see it. Now, I do appreciate everybody who commented, and I do appreciate those of you who have been remaining positive that I've seen here on Twitter and other places. But I definitely just kind of wanted to put this discussion out there because I am really curious as to why. Maybe it has to do with the hype of the character, but it seems like more people are being much harsher on this character than they are other releases this year. I mean, like, he's significantly better than other TURs that have released. Like, I mean, if we were to just consider Dokkan Fest, he's probably right there next to Tao at number 1, right? Like, it's I don't know. It's weird. And I don't know why people are expecting so much more from him, but it is what it is. So, guys, that's it for the video. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let me know what do you guys think of Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku. If you didn't have a chance to respond and I didn't get a chance to read your response, hit your response in the comments down below and I'll be sure to respond to you in the comments. I just wanted to leave it at that. He is a good unit. He's gonna be a good unit, and we really have to stop judging units 4 days before they drop in game just because they did an early live stream, because more often than not people are being overly harsh and overly critical of them before they release, which does not make for a fun time and engaging in online discussion. So that's it for the video, guys. If nothing else, thanks for watching and aloha.